our Champions Club, and then we'll be having a press conference with Coach Kerrigan too to talk about his signings that they'll have from earlier in the day. And then next week, UTPB Athletics will be celebrating its 3.0 GPA students at the February 14th basketball doubleheader next Thursday. All right, we're going to get started today with head women's basketball coach Ray Booth.
Whenever you guys ready.
No, sorry.
No, sorry, yeah.
Why is the tripod being dumb?
Dark.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right, Coach, I guess start off. Thoughts from the weekend.
We had a good weekend. We were off. But going into the weekend, we battled a pretty tough one again, and unfortunately, same result for us Thursday night.
You guys played Texas Women's pretty close Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Oh, was that Thursday
Thursday
night? Okay. So Thursday night, played them pretty closely. What were some things that could have gone differently in your favor that would have gotten you guys on top, or put you guys on top?
Well, I think that we played pretty hard. So we controlled our effort for the most part. We could have done a little bit better job on the boards. But really, it's been the same thing all year. We put the ball in the basket more. And we took over 20 more shots than they did. When you take over 20 more shots than your opponent, you should be able to land it. Sadly, we had to look at the end that we just couldn't convert on, and it shouldn't have come down to that, but it did.
I see on here KP has scored double figures. That's got to be a positive out of all this. What do you think about that?
She's capable, and she should. Sadly, we need 2 or 3 other people to join her, so she's doing her part.
You had mentioned a couple weeks ago that you thought going into the second half experience would help out. Have you seen that at all these last couple games?
Well, it's only been 2. No, obviously the first one was not great for us, but it's kind of like repeating the first round. We were missing the same 2 players first round that we were last week. So we'll be happy to have them back. Obviously this week, huge week, and the first round we played Eastern pretty close, lost to them by 6 here. So we hope to have that game be competitive, and hopefully the first round experience will help us for round 2.
What are the girls like in the locker room right now?
Right now we're at the final stretch, 8 games, a month left. So it's really changed from what we need to do to qualify for a conference tournament to just how we want to go out. And so I think it takes some pressure off, but they're still very hungry. If you guys were there, you could see they still have fire, they still play hard. So we're just locked in on the day and trying to control what we can right now.
So besides the help like you mentioned, what are the biggest keys to getting into the win column?
I think we've got to be able to put the ball in the basket and continue to play extremely hard. When we don't play hard, we get blown out. And you can see that by our scores. Starting way back in November versus Lubbock Christian through 2 weeks ago at Commerce. So we have to play very hard every single day. And so we're limiting our practice time a little bit more just to save our bodies, especially being limited still with our rotation of our personnel. But the key is going to be making shots. We're not going to win a game in the Lone Star Conference if we're shooting 35%. So we're doing a pretty good job of taking more shots, but we need to be able to convert at least on 40% of them and do our job of keeping our opponent off the free throw line. So again, more shots, a higher percentage of them, but we need to really, if we're not going to get to 45%, we need to hold our opponent under 40%, and that's going to be on the defensive end, and that's why we've extended our pressure a little bit more than what we had in the first round.
This next matchup against Eastern New Mexico specifically, what's it looking like?
They've got bigs. They have 2 really nice post players. It's an even matchup, I'd say. They're regionally ranked, but we lost them at 6, and we really were in the game till the last minute. That's it. We had to start fouling. But they have great players, solid shooters. They're deep at every single position, but they have their weaknesses too, and I think we did a fairly good job the first round exposing those, and so we're going to try to do an even better job when we go to third place Thursday to hopefully get a win.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Okay, next up is Sunrise basketball coach Josh.
Good luck.
How are you guys?
Good, how are you,
Good,
Coach?
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Let me know when you're ready.
The last day is you big in?
I actually was on the road. No, when was that? That was
Thursday.
We were just getting finished, and then we were driving from Silver City, and the bus was actually dropping me off in El Paso where I slept in the airport. So I followed it online. I didn't get a chance to watch
They
it,
almost blew it. It
Oh,
was, yeah.
Settle grind.
but I'm not gonna run sprints like Bobby Hurley did. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Kind of impressive.
Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever it takes to motivate your group. I
Sure.
guess. But we had a short week. We finally got back in the win column. It felt great. We went on the road to play in a very tough environment at Western New Mexico, Silver City. But it was good for us to have one game that we could put all of our eggs in one basket and really concentrate on that game in particular. And we came out, we played extremely well right off the bat. I think we got up as many as maybe 16, 18 in the first half. And then like most good teams, they're going to make a run. In Western New Mexico, they're better than their record shows. The week before they won at Commerce. So it shows that they're a dangerous basketball team that's capable of winning. But I was really proud of our guys to fight all the way through the end. Typical us, we basically just outscored them. We weren't trying to get any stops. I think the game was 105-99 if I'm not mistaken. So it was the offense for us. I wish our defense was there a little bit more, but we scored just enough to come out with a victory on the road. And anytime you can win on the road, especially when you have 5 straight road games like we're about to incur the last 2 of the 5-game swing, to get a game on the road is really good.
I saw Walton was back, so how big is it to have him on the floor? It looks like he didn't play a whole lot of minutes.
Yeah, he
So-
was in foul trouble again. He had missed, I think, 2 straight weeks pretty much, or
Yeah.
he had missed 8 days. So it was good to get him back, but Xavier Ledette wasn't back yet, so I think we're going to be full strength on Thursday, which is great. Anytime when you look down there's only 2 or 3 guys on the bench, you kind of say, okay, what are we going to do? And so we're subbing guys right now, kind of like a hockey team. We're just getting them in and out as fast as we can, and we told them, hey, don't question why. It might not be anything other than we're just trying to get the minutes spread out. But I thought the guys did a really good job with that. But it was great having him back because it's just another big body, and he played well when he was in there.
What was the team like after the win, finally getting back in the win column?
Oh, they were excited, obviously. As a coach, you have all these things on your mind, and my staff does a great job. They're like, Coach, just enjoy it. Just go in there, make sure they know how happy we are. We'll talk about everything else this week. So they were really happy, because they want to be successful, obviously, and they know we've been so close. We've been in every basketball game, basically 1 or 2 possessions outside of Lubbock Christian. And so they know we're really close, and so hopefully this is the tipping point for us to go win on the road, kind of come together, and hopefully get Xavier back, and now going to Eastern New Mexico, which is a really good basketball team. We have another tough test.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. It just seems like all the chips are about to fall into the right place. Like you don't want to jinx anything, but when you see everything happening, you have a chance to get back to 500 with this stretch, in conference play rather. So what is it like in the guys? Are they kind of noticing, all right, we're hitting our stride now?
Well, you know what? Honestly, I don't know, because after the game, they came back to Odessa, and I went on the road recruiting. And so I literally just got back, kind of like you. I got back this morning about 30 minutes ago. And so I've been away from, which is a good thing. So I'm excited to get back in the gym with them today. They've had a couple of days off, so hopefully they'll be excited. They know what's at stake. They know that we have started the second turn, and we're going on the road again. And it's going to be a tough challenge, but hopefully they're ready.
What's this time of year like for you and your staff? You're in conference play, but you're also hitting the road recruiting. So what's it like for you guys?
Little to no sleep, honestly. It's really busy. As Ryan mentioned, right now at the athletic department, there's so many things going on with football signing, with softball, with baseball, tennis even start. I mean, everybody is in full swing right now, and for us, it's kind of coming down the last month. And so we're trying to get our team to the right spot. We're obviously trying to really focus on recruiting as well, because all those young men that we're recruiting, this is the last month for them too. So it's really juggling recruiting, coaching, games, management. It's a full swing right now, and a lot of work. But hey, that's what we do, and the rest is coming down in the spring, I guess, in April.
So like you said, coming down to the last month right now, and obviously like you said, you weren't with the guys, but what you saw on the court, is this where you want the guys to be going into this crucial last month?
I mean, it's hard to say, Marshall, honestly, because defensively, I still wasn't happy. After the game, Zane said, hey, Coach, he went for 36, and I thought he was talking about Wade from Western New Mexico, because all I remember during the game is they were hitting at 3 after 3, and I think they hit 15, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said, no, Coach, Jacob had 36. So defensively, still, we're not where we need to be. And until that happens, I won't be able to tell you, yes, we've turned the corner, because we've always been able to score. Our percentages are great. I think we're top 20 in the country, probably in offensive efficiency, points per game, and field goal percentage. But defensively, that's where we need to continue to get better. And we got some ideas today that we're going to implement because we're still trying to figure it out.
I was going to say, what do you think the X factor is and why you haven't been able to turn the corner defensively?
Plain and simple toughness. That's really it. And as a coach, that's the hardest thing to coach. You can try to prepare for it, you can try to implement it, but at the end of the day, it comes down to stopping somebody, literally standing toe-to-toe with somebody and saying, you're not going to go by me or you're not going to make that shot. So toughness is a huge aspect of it, and we're trying to get him to be tougher in that regard.
You said Jacob had 36 points. How would you describe him on the team? How has he helped the team this season?
The last 2 weeks, I thought Jacob's really bought into what we're trying to do. Prior to that, we talked as a whole team about shot selection and trying to do too much offensively. And he's had a 2 weeks of really good in the system, looking for his right shot at the right time. And I was really happy with him. He shot 21 times. A lot of those were actually in transition from his teammates. So I didn't think Jacob took any bad shots actually versus Western New Mexico. And for him, that's been a big thing, is finding a good shot within our offense. And when you do that, good things are going to happen. So he's bought into that, and I think it really showed with his performance.
Okay.
Awesome, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, see y'all.
Okay, we'll close out today with the baseball coach, Brian Rangelson.
Oh, I gotta be up there. I thought that was it. I just got to do a flyby and we're good. No, it's not all.
Okay.
Coach, I feel to get back out there.
It was good. I mean, and we talk about that with baseball all the time. I mean, you can practice forever and you really don't know what you need to work on until you're playing against somebody with a different color uniform. And we now know all of the things that we have to work on, for sure.
What are some of those things that you guys need to work on?
We had to throw strikes. If we continue on the pace we're on now, we're going to break a lot of bad records, I can tell you that. But, and it was the upperclassmen on the mound that really struggled. A lot of the new guys, whether they were junior college transfers or freshmen, competed and did things the right way. I think the nerves and the butterflies were with the returners, which is completely opposite of anything that ever happens in baseball.
So at this point, pitchers are typically ahead of hitters right now. You don't think that's the case for you guys at the moment?
No, I think it's definitely the other way around, which is weird because, it never really works that way. We had a couple guys on the mound that were really, really good. We just had way too many walks. I mean, we had 25 walks and I think only 12 strikeouts on the weekend on the mound, and that's not going to work in any league, much less the competition we're going to play.
You think this is a nerves thing? There's no any kind of injury or anything like that?
No, I mean, we did lose one guy over the weekend, which puts us at down 4 arms for what we really counted on. But no, because I threw a couple of them the next day and they were fine again after that. So yeah, possibly just a nerve thing. But I thought all 3 games were competitive, and just the third game. I mean, I think it was 5-3 going to the 7th, and we brought in a guy that, in a non-save situation for us, that will probably end up being our closer, and it's hard for them guys mentally, but we had to throw him. We didn't have a chance to throw him before that, so he struggled a little bit too.
Still got to win this weekend. So what were some of the good things that you saw out of your squad?
We talked about this before the season even started with them, just about how they are formed together as a team right now. I mean, there's a lot of individuals. There's 31 active guys dressing right now, and for them to understand what we're trying to do, the culture we're trying to set, and to have almost every single person buy into it, that's huge for us, because that will pay dividends down the road. I think the best thing we saw was we had some new guys step up. Gabriel Melendez hit a grand slam, give us the lead in game 2, and I mean, you know, that guy's been on campus about a month. So I mean, it's really good to see that.
So kind of going back to when you're talking about throwing strikes from a coaching staff, if it's nerves, how do you kind of get them to bounce back for week 2?
I mean, we're changing practice. And some of the stuff we do with bullpens and stuff, we're going to do live bullpens against hitters, and you know, hopefully, you know, that will help them. And I think just getting into the next weekend, every time they step out on the mound, I mean, it should go away. But we need it to go away now, before the weekend comes up, because I mean, it's, you know, it's a short turnaround. I mean, we play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
You got
Coach.
it.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, everybody.